Hello and welcome to another edition of The Live Ones. The big story today, a stunner in the world of college basketball last night, or maybe, I don't know. The ACC is just so trash this year. I don't know whether or not to be just inured to it at this point, but Florida State came back from 5 down at halftime to absolutely controlling the second half to force an overtime, then beat number 6 Duke. So is Florida State better than anyone thought? They certainly beat up on Miami last week, didn't they? More likely, I just really think the ACC is cannibalizing itself like it did during the football season. Duke is Duke. The AP will twist themselves into knots to keep them in the top 10. But yeah, this conference has definitely fallen on hard times, and I think you're going to see a conspicuous absence of teams you would normally see in the tournament come March. In NFL news, Bruce Arians, apparently the recipient of a very hefty fine for his actions in the Eagles game on Sunday afternoon, where he slapped the helmet and threw an elbow at one of his own players for pulling an Eagles player out of a pile and risking a 15-yard penalty. Arians will contend it was just a dope slap, the type that guys used to get from their dads all the time back in his day. He did respond to a reporter's question about it by saying he had no regrets about doing it and saying, quote, "I've seen enough dumb." That's just a statement layered with irony right there. We had another winning day yesterday. We went 3-2. We're 9-3 on the week so far. I think we're just going to be auto-fading the Flyers for the rest of the season. We've made so much money off of it. It's ridiculous at this point. That team has just quit. We've got another big night of college hoops. I love when we get into conference play like this. We've got a small slate of NHL and a full slate of NBA to go over. Let's get right to it. And we're going to start over in the SEC, LSU and Alabama. When I first saw this line of 3.5 points, I said to myself, wait, who's favored? Alabama, the same team that's lost their last 3 conference games, giving up an average of 84 points while doing it. I mean, I know LSU is a defense-first team, and you don't expect them to drop a huge total on the Tide like that. I know LSU just suffered their second loss to the year to Arkansas, and Xavier Pinson is still listed as questionable tonight. I know Alabama's at home, but I wouldn't make an Alabama a 3.5-point favorite against anyone in the SEC right now, let alone against LSU, who has one of the best defenses in the country. But even so, what is talking me off the ledge of jumping on LSU as the road dog is that the Tigers are really struggling to score points. Most of the time, they don't need to, so they're just not built that way. But it did shine through in that game against Arkansas. With Alabama's skid, LSU's defense, and LSU's struggles on offense, I checked the total tonight, and I saw 149. Under. This might well be one of those games where neither team scores 70, certainly has the feel of one. So yes, that is my play, LSU, Alabama, under 149. Over to that trash ACC conference that we were talking about earlier. Wake Forest and Georgia Tech, and the defending ACC champion Georgia Tech just continues to bleed out in conference play. They're dead last in the conference after yet another blowout loss, an 88-65 drubbing at the hands of North Carolina on Saturday. They're going to look to get right tonight when they return home to face Wake Forest. Wake Forest is they're riding okay right now. They just had a 63-55 win at Virginia, arguably their best victory of the season. They had a nice 13-0 run that began with about 8 minutes left in the game. 4 Demon Deacons players scored in double figures, and the defense forced 11 turnovers in the second half. This is just a matchup between two teams with a huge disparity in talent right now. Wake Forest is a solid scoring team, averaging 78 points a contest and shooting the ball at an impressive 48%. The Yellow Jackets average roughly 69 points a game, and most of it comes in the first half. This is a team that just runs out of gas late. We've seen it time and again. You're getting a value price on the Demon Deacons tonight at -2 here on the road, and I'd jump all over it if I were you. Wake Forest, -2, that's my play. Over to the NBA, and first game I'm looking at tonight is the Nets and the Wizards. This is the second game for the Nets without Kevin Durant. The first game did not go so well, 114-107 loss to the Cavaliers. The one saving grace for them during this 4 weeks that Durant is expected to be out, they're playing a whole lot of games on the road where Kyrie Irving is going to be allowed to be used. This is what this team was built for, if you'll remember, so that if one of their stars goes down, another can just fill right in. But it's just not the same, and everybody knows it. Durant has been playing some of the best ball since his OKC days. This year, he's been averaging almost 30 points a game. His rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks are all up over last year. Kyrie's fantastic, but he definitely is a tier below Durant. I'd knock 7 or 8 points off of every game of the Nets total without Durant in there, even with Kyrie getting all the looks that would normally be going to him. And that's why I'm looking at the total of 234 tonight. 234.5 tonight. Washington's been playing great ball lately, winning 4 out of their last 5. They've certainly been helped by the caliber of their opponents. but they're still a mid-tier team on offense that you can pretty much count on to stay in like the low 110s in any given game. I put the Nets' likely total in any given game right now about the same without Durant in, like low to mid 110s. So this game screams to me, it screams a total somewhere in the 220s. So I am taking the under 234.5 tonight. And last but not least, the Mavericks and the Raptors. The Dallas Mavericks have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA the past couple of weeks. They are 9-1 across their last 10 games, allowing just 101 points a game, best in the NBA over that stretch. They host a Toronto Raptors team tonight that's been looking better, but still has a lot of holes in it, particularly in terms of depth. This team currently sits at dead last in the NBA with points off the bench by a wide margin. They live and die by the success of their half-court and transition, which just happens to be something that the Mavericks defense is excellent at shutting down. The Mavericks are clearly the better team at this point in time. Porzingis and Luka are both back together for the first time since early December, and they both look to be at full strength now. I'm just not stepping in front of this Mavericks train right now. Give me Dallas as the home favorite, minus 3.5 points. There is no value in any of the 3 hockey games on the board tonight. Trust me, I looked. Tonight's a basketball night, pure and simple, so that is going to be it for me. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live1Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at The Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Wednesday night, and I will see you tomorrow.